The modern food environment has become a major driver of the obesity epidemic and, by extension, a silent force behind rising cancer rates. At the center of this crisis is the food industry, whose practices over the past few decades have fundamentally reshaped the way people eat, often in ways that undermine health. Ultra-processed foods dominate grocery stores, school lunches, and restaurant menus, offering convenience and palatability at the cost of long-term well-being. These products are carefully engineered to be hyperpalatable, calorie-dense, and nutrient-poor, fostering overeating and addiction-like behavior while delivering little in the way of essential nutrition. The aggressive marketing of these products is particularly harmful. Major food corporations invest billions in advertising campaigns that target children, low-income households, and communities of color with messaging that equates junk food with happiness, status, and cultural identity. These campaigns rarely highlight the health consequences of regular consumption. Instead, they flood television screens, social media feeds, and even public school materials with highly persuasive imagery designed to normalize overconsumption. For many, these foods become the default: cheap, fast, familiar, and heavily promoted, while healthier options remain either inaccessible or unaffordable. Labeling is another area where the food industry contributes to confusion and harm. Nutrition labels, while technically accurate, are often designed in ways that obscure the actual health impact of a product. Serving sizes are manipulated to make sugar and fat content appear lower, and packaging frequently includes misleading health claims like natural, low-fat, or whole grain that mask the presence of additives, refined sugars, and industrial oils. Even consumers who are trying to eat healthily can easily be misled, ending up with products that contribute to weight gain and metabolic dysfunction over time. These industry-driven factors feed directly into the biological conditions that promote obesity: chronic excess calorie intake, elevated blood sugar and insulin levels, systemic inflammation, and hormonal imbalances. And as obesity takes root earlier and lasts longer, it becomes a catalyst for a range of chronic diseases, particularly cancer. The link between obesity and at least 13 types of cancer is now well established, yet public health efforts to address the food environment remain weak, fragmented, and often undermined by industry lobbying. Indeed, the food industry's political influence plays a crucial role in shaping policy or preventing it. Efforts to regulate marketing to children, impose taxes on sugary beverages, or limit the use of harmful ingredients are frequently met with intense opposition from industry groups, which frame such measures as infringements on personal freedom or threats to economic growth. These arguments mask the reality that corporate profits are being prioritized over public health. In some cases, the same companies that promote processed foods fund research, nutrition education, or community programs, creating conflicts of interest that dilute the credibility of health messaging and deflect accountability. The consequences of these practices are visible across the population, but they're especially devastating in communities that already face barriers to health. Food deserts, areas with little or no access to fresh, affordable produce, are often saturated with fast food outlets and convenience stores, all stocked with ultra-processed fare. In such environments, obesity is not just likely, it's almost inevitable. And when obesity becomes entrenched, so does the risk of related cancers such as colorectal, liver, breast, and endometrial cancer. While individual choices do play a role in health, the environment in which those choices are made cannot be ignored. The food industry has helped create a system where unhealthy options are not only easier and cheaper, but aggressively marketed and socially reinforced. Holding individuals solely responsible for their weight or their cancer risk is both unjust and ineffective when powerful structural forces are shaping behavior behind the scenes. Until the food industry is held to higher standards through regulation, transparency, and ethical reform, the obesity epidemic will remain difficult to reverse. And with it, the rising burden of obesity-related cancers will continue to exact a deadly toll. What is needed is not just education, but systemic change. Policy reforms that restrict harmful marketing, enforce honest labeling, and incentivize healthier food production and distribution. Without such changes, the profit-driven practices of the food industry will keep fueling a public health crisis that could have been prevented.